All right, welcome to the Kacee Allen Show. I'm your host, Kacee Allen. We have a great show for you guys tonight. Boy, did a lot of stuff happen this past weekend. Talk about a third alleged assassination attempt on the president. And that's what we're going to be talking about, obviously, tonight, because I've yet to even give a statement on this on any social media. And I'm going to do it right here on this show. Well, I guess I made a few posts on X, really just documenting what happened, but this is going to be my entire opinion on what appears to be a potentially staged event by President Trump, or at least someone in the administration, to what appears to be have a reason for them to have a ballroom, as ridiculous as that sounds. Also could be completely real. It's, again, we're trying to piece everything together, but from what we've seen so far, there are so many anomalies for this to be taken at face value. So before we get into all that, because we're going to dive right in, make sure to follow us on all platforms. As you see in the banner below, we're on YouTube, Rumble, X, and all the short form platforms. Make sure to follow and subscribe. Like I said, we're going to dive right into this, whether this was a hoax, whether this is real, and all the strange things that happen with this. So we're going to start with the very beginning of this story here and all the details that are relevant to know. So as you guys know, this past Saturday night, I think it was 8:30 p.m., there was a White House Correspondents Dinner. And usually the president of the United States doesn't even, this is the first time a president ever has. And I think within maybe 15 minutes of Trump sitting down at a table, literally shots fired off. I believe one Secret Service agent was hit. Trump was not hit, luckily. But yeah, this is very, very crazy. I mean, you're talking about something that's happened. If this is true, we'll take it at face value for the sake of conversation. This would be 3 attempts on the president, not counting other smaller alleged times. This would be 3 attempts on the president's life in 15, 16 months. So it really speaks to the volumes, the temperature that we're in politically. And again, whether this was motivated by the left, whether this was an inside job, it's important that we get down to what actually happened here and the truth. So we're going to figure out everything we saw. Like I said, the weirdest thing is the shooter himself, which his name is Cole Allen, or the alleged shooter. Again, just to make something clear, and my name is Kacee Allen, and his name is Cole Allen. No relation whatsoever. Had to get that out of the way. But so let's get all the facts straight here. What we know about the White House Correspondents Dinner shooting. Now, this was last Saturday around 10:35 Eastern. Shots were fired inside the White House Hilton during the event. Trump and attendees were rushed out as Secret Service agents secured the ballroom, secured the room, which we're going to show the video for that after we go through all the facts. So the police say the suspect charged security checkpoint armed with a shotgun, handgun, and multiple knives. So what's up with the security there? So this guy took 5 to 8 shots that were reportedly fired. Law enforcement exchanged fire with the suspect. One officer was hit but survived due to a bulletproof vest, and the suspect was apprehended on site and taken to hospital for evaluation. He was identified as 31-year-old Cole Tomas Allen of Torrance, California. Authorities say it was appearing to be a lone wolf attack, and federal charges are going against him, including firearms plus assault on federal officers, expected tomorrow. And he today end up getting charged for that assassination attempt of the president, which he could very well spend the rest of his life in prison if found guilty. So the FBI raided a property linked to his California home. Hundreds of guests sheltered under tables as the incident unfolded. You saw a lot of key cabinet officials either ducking, running, or in some cases standing up. Very, very odd way this was handled. And you even see what Dana White, his response after this unfolded, you would think he'd be a little bit more troubled or a little more panicked after something like this happened. But no, he was completely, not even exaggerating. He said, this was pretty awesome. Like, not even phased at all. Very strange. But we're going to get all the videos and everything. We're going to explain, break down all this piece by piece, because this is very crucial. And I think some of these things might actually lead to what happened. It's going to tell us or give us the best understanding of what could have happened here. But again, the official narrative, like I said, is this is the 3rd official attempt on the president's life. And this guy's ties, just like Thomas Crooks, just like the one Ryan Ruth guy, were to mainstream media in some way whatsoever. They literally all appeared on, either had their own segment or appeared on mainstream media, and had a weird social media background, had a job either in some sensitive field, and also kind of tying back into the UFO scientists that are going missing and being killed randomly. This guy was working for NASA and a propulsion, I think it was jet propulsion or something like that, and he interned 10 years ago. The story gets pretty wild. So really, where to start? Get the visuals here. Because as you guys know, this was this past Saturday. Let's pull this up here. So here's the video. We'll get everything documented here. I have an issue here. Well, I have an issue sharing the screen there. 1 second, folks. Okay, so here we are. So here's the original video straight ahead of, you can see Trump far away at the table. Far away. So this is what I saw at 8:30 that Saturday. I was out just drinking beer, and I literally saw that. Well, not beer, it's bourbon. I don't drink beer, but I was just out having a good time, and literally I just looked at my phone and saw this. And at first, from the angle I saw, it wasn't this one. It was more to the left, a little bit closer. But it appeared that Trump, as they pulled him away, it looked like he was like limping or kind of almost insinuating that he got shot. That was my first instinct. I was like, oh gosh, here we go again. Luckily, that wasn't the case. But still, I find it very interesting that right after this happens, it was like a 50-50 split. You had all the diehard Trump supporters, the Israeli guys, all saying, pray for Trump. It was like inciting or reciting the same message, calling for the ballroom. Basically, again, a campaign just after this happened, a paid campaign, of course. Then you have everyone else, like people that are actually thinking for themselves, that are thinking that this could have been staged. I mean, even like Matt Walsh said this was staged. It's very surprising to hear. But yeah, at this point, I think also you have to take in consideration that Americans are just completely desensitized to these things happening. As after Charlie Kirk, after this happened to Trump now 3 times in 15, 16 months. I hate to say it, but this is just a regular Tuesday in America. It's a regular Wednesday in America. You know what I mean? This is the state that we're in. So this is the very beginning. This is first video that most people saw here. Then you have the angle of Trump. Here's the JD Vance actually being turned away. Okay, so yeah, that's the video of them being carried away. Here's, I believe, the video of them raiding his home. Here's a picture of Cole Allen on the floor after he was apprehended by police. He literally tripped and fell. Now here's the video that's gone viral of where they actually caught him. Well, actually, take into account this is the same video, but it has been slightly altered by AI. So take that into account. Still the same result. He came running, slipped, but it just, the person who edited this in AI made it like this so it was clear or easier to see visually. So that's what happened with this guy. He just literally slipped and fell, easily apprehended. Now, where it gets really sinister here is an hour before this happened, Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, literally came out and said that Americans, not even Americans, this speech is going to be electrifying, and shots are going to be fired. And then CNN even made a separate piece saying that this is going to be the expect the unexpected. But listen to what Caroline Leavitt said. This is very strange considering literally this happened an hour after she made this what seemed to be foreshadow or prediction of what would come of this dinner.
To rumble, is he not?
He is ready to rumble. I will tell you, this speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room.
What? There will be some shots fired? Come on. Are we not living in a simulation? But no, it gets crazier than this. You thought this was the cherry on top? No, not even close. So here we have in 2014. Get this load here. So in 2014, someone named Henry Martinez published work at NASA the exact same year that Cole Allen, the guy who was the alleged shooter at the event, interned there. So that same Henry Martinez X account also tweeted Cole Allen's name in 2023 and had no other post. Also, according to Cole Allen's LinkedIn, he interned at NASA in 2014. So here you have the document. Let's see if that's pulled up here. Around not the right one there. Yeah, let's get this a little zoomed in so we can see. Okay, so here you have the document where it says, let's see if we can even see it. Yeah, Henry Martinez, Lockheed Martin Space Systems, Denver, Colorado, Goddard Space Flight Center. So this is the Henry Martinez guy. Now, what's important about this is this Henry Martinez account tweeted the name Cole Allen, and check the date here. This is December 21st, 2023, and obviously went viral after this. Not only that, look at the outfit he's wearing. It's obviously a Pepe or Groiper frog, but he's holding a wine glass and the exact same tuxedo that Trump wore that night, which has led some people to think that, is this time travel? What on earth are we dealing with here? Because I struggle to believe logically how that's a coincidence. I mean, think about I almost want to type into Grok and see what are the odds that someone could predict, or not even really predict, he just said the name of someone 3 years prior with only that one tweet, with obviously insinuating that this guy would do something. There would be some sort of point in time where he would be recognized. So that leads me to a few points. Is it the fact that, the deep state or the CIA, they've been culminating these patsies or these people that they've been working on for years to commit these false flags, and this is kind of like someone warning us of that? Or is this, I mean, again, like I said, if it's not that, are we just literally saying that someone had to have just randomly made this up or thought this was going to happen 3 years ago without any prior knowledge? I don't know. I'd like to see the odds of that, because I think the statistics there, the percentage of that happening is you're talking 0.0000001%. I mean, it's got to be extremely low that someone could have just predicted this out of thin air. And keep in mind, 2023, this is before all the assassination attempts on Trump. This is before he was even elected in 24, 1 year prior to it. Biden was in office then. So how could someone have predicted something like this? Again, maybe I'm overstretching this here. He literally just to tweet the name. But taking into account the Henry Martinez who allegedly worked with this Cole Allen in 2014 at NASA, again, so let's just say he just tweets the name of a guy he works with. But what's even stranger is that when you look at the header of this Henry Martinez account, let's see if we get this pulled up. This is crazy right here. All right, so I'll show the wrong one. Hold on, folks. 1 second. I'm trying to get the right screen there. Okay, I guess we're having trouble with this. But anyways, you can see kind of farther away. I just want to zoom in so it'd be easier to read. Shoot. Okay, so as you can see, the background, which is exactly the same as this company called Time Machine, 3D digitization, study and quality, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so look at this company called Time Machine. That's his header. Henry Martinez, who worked with Cole Allen, tweeted his name 3 years before this happened. Also wearing the same suit that Trump would wear that same night. Now, again, I'm more of a logical person. I'm very open-minded, and I'm willing to accept that maybe something like time travel could be possible. Maybe it's real. Maybe it could be actually, or it could be a reason that something like this happened. But I'm more inclined to stay with logic here. And one thing for sure is there's no way this was a coincidence. I really struggle to believe that, especially knowing that the very name of these two guys, considering the circumstances, the time machine, all the details are very strange. Again, maybe this is a wild coincidence. Maybe this is some Fed slop with the intent of throwing people off of the true narrative. You have to be open to all possibilities here. But I can firmly say that this cannot be a coincidence. There has to be something to this here. And this isn't even the craziest part. It literally just keeps getting crazier. Let's see here. So now we have in 2019, just like I said, 2019 or 2018, whatever this was, this guy, Cole Allen, had a news segment on, it was actually his own dedicated segment for working with disabled people on, I believe it was ABC, but just like Thomas Crooks, just like Ryan Ruth, always making these obscure mainstream media appearances years before these things happen. I also don't believe that's a coincidence. Here we go.
Cole Allen developed a prototype for a wheelchair emergency brake.
The wheelchair brakes tend to lock the wheels, but don't actually lock the chair to the ground. The idea with this is to prevent it from moving at all.
So yeah, like they're displaying him as a regular guy. I mean, he was literally getting a segment because he was doing something for the disabled. He was doing a virtuous act, and he was, from what it appeared like to society, he was a regular good guy. Like he didn't seem to have any problems until something like this happened. So we have a lot to dive into. So we haven't even gotten to the manifesto. This is really just putting every detail together. And here's another important detail I think we should at least discuss. And again, I believe this to be true, but there's been a back and forth conversation about whether this image has been altered, whether this is AI. I cannot 100% confirm either way, but I'm at least the AI and the research I've done, it appears this is a real photo. So I'm going to take it at face value. But this is basically this guy pictured in an Israeli Defense Forces IDF sweatshirt, Cole Tomas. Again, it's hard to make anything out of that, to draw any conclusion, but that's just very strange. And if that is true, well, again, maybe you kind of know who he's working for. That I don't think many Americans just casually wear military of other countries, like the sweatshirts of other military, just casually, like a little sweater, crew neck, unless you're a part of them or unless you're a major supporter of them. Again, more of an isolated detail, but at least it's worth noting. So here's the MAGA coordinated shills that are, I'm assuming, getting paid by someone, an unknown surrogate or an unknown benefactor here. But as you see, Andrew Colvett, Libs of TikTok, Jack Posobiec, N Wokeness, Wall Street Mav, Meghan McCain, Tara Bull. I mean, it just goes on and on. Brylan Holohan, Cernovich, Sean Farish, all Randy Fine, all the typical slop. They all say this is why Trump needs a ballroom. This is why we need a White House ballroom. This is why we need a ballroom. I mean, all of them saying the exact same thing, coordinated. If this is literally just to get Trump a ballroom, that's absolutely insane. If they just stage this for that to happen, I don't think that would have been the. I mean, I think it's possible, considering that is what they want the result of this to be. Like that's the outcome of this, and they're using the precipice of this being a safety concern to use taxpayer funds to make this luxury recreational ballroom. But how are we not going to criticize how the president has been almost assassinated 3, maybe even 4 to 5 times? How is his security not getting fired? How are they not at question? Like, why are these things not being investigated as well? Just like in Butler. They're not. They just keep happening. And Trump says, oh, well, let's just build a ballroom. Like, oh, let's not look at the security. Let's not investigate why these things happen. Let's not look at any foreign links. It's absolutely insane. It is absolutely insane. And I think that's what people have just had enough of. They're just tired of it. Like they really just don't even care at this point. I think that was kind of the vibes, like just another Tuesday, you know? So here's Cole Tomas Allen's LinkedIn here. Let's dive through this. So it says he had 167 followers, Los Angeles. He was a game developer, engineer, scientist, teacher. That's right, he was a teacher as well. Mechanical engineer, computer scientist by degree, independent game developer by experience, teacher by birth. Appearing to be a regular guy. And then he also, he had a bachelor's in science and engineering from Caltech from 2013 to 2017. Pretty good GPA. Seemed like a pretty smart guy. Yeah, 3.9 GPA. California State University Dominguez, Masters of Science. It says he's a teacher part-time, 6 years, C2 educator, indie game developer for 7 years, designed the built C+ based video game Boredom, including several custom, you can't even see the rest, you got cut off there. So he was a mechanical engineer from 17 to 18 for a year and 4 months in South Pasenda. Reworked, exited 2-axis gimbal design to specific projects. Then he was a teaching assistant at Caltech, the place he went to school at, and aided students leading lectures and 2 occasions. Okay, so that was his career with that. And then obviously he got into NASA's program. So mechanical engineer, not too important. So yeah, here's where it's interesting. So in summer of 2014 to August of 2014, 3 months, he was a summer undergraduate research fellowship student at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Very interesting. And this was in Oak Drive, Pasenda, California. That's very interesting considering all the UFOs that have gone missing and all the people that, like I said, 11 in the past 3 years, since 2023, scientists involved in anti-gravity, UFOs, jet propulsion. They're either randomly offing themselves or they're just disappearing, going off the grid, not to be heard from again. So that's very interesting considering all of that happening. And then this guy gets apprehended as well and literally is going to probably spend the rest of his life in jail and might even be put on death row, for real. And then another anomaly here. Let's pull this up. So we also figured out that 12 hours before this happened, there were a ton of people Googling Cole Allen's name, and it happened to be in Israel, of course. There you go. Another strange clue. And then we have a video here of Fox News getting caught on hot mic. literally saying that they didn't have enough security there. And I've heard from a couple other influencers. Can't say I really trust them. They're not the most reliable people, but they have at least said that from their firsthand experience that they just walked right in without any metal detectors. There was really hardly any security that they would normally have for an event like this, or you would think with the president and the current environment after Charlie Kirk, with a lot of cabinet officials being there. I mean, it's a White House Correspondents Dinner. Why would you not want to have security?
I love that they have like two random chicks holding the front door open.
Here, try that again.
I love that they have like two random chicks holding the front door open. Where's the guys? We're not even trying anymore. It's not even like, I just mean like they're not even like Secret Service people. It's like the girls who work here are holding the door. Even if it was the guys, it wouldn't even make it better. It's like she's fucking just like they might as well put a doorstop in. Like, they put up a doorstop and a scarecrow. Don't fuck with this guy.
Yeah, so the whole thing really doesn't make sense. The only way you could logically sum this up is just saying, look, like there's extreme political violence in America. There's extremely high rhetoric with the left going against Trump, with even people on the right are actually starting to go against Trump. But really, this really leftist rhetoric, I mean, which is true. I mean, it's happened plenty of times. But let me think about it. Charlie Kirk, 3-4 times against Trump. Fuentes, the InfoWars guy. I mean, this is a continuing thing that's happened, but you really think that our commander-in-chief of all people would be secure in an event like this, and they would have not to be like this surveillance hawk or say that we need to institute a surveillance state. But I would think protecting the president and cabinet officials and really just any like high-level dinner like this, you would think this would be something you wouldn't have to worry about, especially nowadays. But I think we can put that off the table and say, look, this is a dangerous climate we're in. There's a lot of reasons for that. I don't even know if we have so I guess we don't have the manifesto here, but from the manifesto, he did, Cole Allen seemed to make this to be about Trump being a pedophile is what he said. He said that basically couldn't, in good conscience, well, I don't think this was in good conscience or good faith at all, obviously not, that he felt like he had to do this. That's from his manifesto, which, yeah, I thought it sounded a little strange, whether that was actually the real one or not, but assuming that it is, yeah, I mean, it's not just simply that it's the Trump's like this Gestapo or this Nazi that's deporting all these people. It's not like, obviously that's not the truth, but that's the whole rhetoric the left's been playing on. That's seemingly their only thing. They've been like saying he's a king or he's this dictatorial tyrant. But now you have a faction of people that are going against him because of the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. You have, I mean, things that they've literally broken the law by not abiding by the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Now you're starting to see that faction start to get really riled up. And again, that's where the administration, I'm not saying they're at fault for this. I don't think that anyone should be attacked like this. But again, like they really need to start getting their act together. They need to up their security. They need to start prosecuting criminals. They need to start going after Epstein's clients. They need to start investigating what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania. But they're not doing any of these things. I mean, yeah, they're going after the SPLC finally. Whether actually that gets anywhere, we'll see. But it's just absolutely insane. I mean, it's almost where I'm left speechless, and I guarantee this will just go away just like every other story because I think America is desensitized at this point. But no, I mean, from what I see out of all this, I think that this is very fishy. I'm not going to make a direct 100% claim because I don't know. I wasn't there. But for everything I've seen, I think there has been some sort of fabrication in the story. Why that was, hard telling, to be honest. It is really hard telling with this administration. It could have been just for a ballroom. Wouldn't put it past them. It would not surprise me the least bit if that was the case. I obviously like to think that there's more to it, especially when you talk about, the 2023 post naming Cole Allen from the Henry Martinez guy and him working at NASA. I'm more inclined to believe there's more to that side of the story and should probably be investigated. Because the same thing with all these guys, all these alleged patsies, or some of them are, some of them might not be. None of them are. I guess some of them can be proven. I mean, Lee Harvey Oswald's a good example, but it's like all these guys have a similar background, and I think people are catching on to that. And again, like especially how I think the biggest catch out of all this is that people like Dana White and people at the event acted like it was okay. They acted totally unfazed. See if I can find. Here's Dana White. We got to pull up this video. This is insane. I mean, you would think this guy just was at a UFC event. Like
inside, they started up. All of a sudden, it just started getting noisy. Tables getting flipped over, guys running in with guns, and they were screaming, "Get down!" I didn't get down. It was awesome. I literally took every minute of it in, and it was a pretty crazy, unique experience.
So you were on the aisle. What exactly?
I was sitting. We were sitting right in front of the table.
Okay.
Right in front of where the president was.
Yes. And what exactly happened? And so someone got tackled, or like?
Yeah, you heard him, folks. That's wild. It was pretty awesome. Like, he said he didn't get down because it was awesome. He took it all in. Does that seem like the way you would react after the president almost got shot? Let alone the president. Let's just say that you're anywhere in public and that happens. How is that your reaction after that? Makes no sense to me. But again, until we figure out more information about this, I mean, I think this is probably a case closed deal. They've already charged the guy. They've already got the manifesto. They seem to have a motive. So, yeah, this guy's probably going to be locked up for life, and we're never going to hear anything about this again. They're not going to pursue any investigation, I'm sure, just like they did with the previous ones. And everything the administration has failed to prosecute anyone to really just dive in deeper in things that you would think they would care about, like the 2020 election, like what happened with the Biden fraud. I mean, Epstein files, especially something like this, the assassination attempts on Trump himself. Why would he not want to look into that? It makes no sense. Again, as much as I look into the Butler one, that one looks, that's arguably staged, I think. I'm not saying it for sure is, but I think there's a fair question to be raised there. When you have all the photographers taking the picture and the flag being lowered, I don't know. It really raises a lot of questions, and especially when we've seen Trump contradict himself so many times and lie about whether it's the Iran war, the Epstein files, saying he's going to take out an entire civilization and not do it. Not saying he should have, but I mean, this guy has just said so many things and not fallen through with. You can't take anything he says at face value. So that's exactly where we're at as a country, and I would not be surprised at the least bit that these were set up and these were manufactured by either Trump himself or the intelligence agencies, the apparatus. It's hard to tell. Or to really simplify things, to dumb this down, and the easiest rationalization is that, look, it was just some deranged leftist with tensions really high after we've seen a lot of attempts on Trump already, kind of on Charlie Kirk obviously being taken out. Like this is kind of getting normalized in a terrible sense. So that would be just the easiest rationalization of it, is just to say it was just some deranged leftist, and that's the official narrative. And I would believe that, but the whole Twitter account thing and him working in NASA, and that really makes me raise a lot of questions. And in predicting that too, 3 years prior, that just has Fed slop written all over it. I mean, it to me, that's where I go with that. But again, can't say for sure because I'm all about evidence. I mean, these are speculative. Again, the probability of some of these things are probably extremely low of it not being coincidence. But that's my take on this. I think this is something Americans are just desensitized about, and this is really just to get Trump his ballroom, because that seems to be the only thing that's changed or going to try to change from this. Then this is absolutely ridiculous. But again, I mean, I don't wish violence on anyone. I condemn this to the absolute core, and this guy's an absolute idiot, and he deserves to be in jail for the rest of his life. But again, we deserve to know, was this guy working alone? I'm sure he wasn't. Was he? I mean, I would be willing to bet he wasn't. Usually, in most cases, these are not isolated incidents. There's usually more than one person working, or at least a part of us or at least associated or corroborated with this guy. So these things need to be answered. And most importantly, they need to have security to not allow these things to happen. It's 2026. How many times does this have to happen until we actually learn something and institute enough security, enough protection, metal detectors, whatever it is, while not sliding into the Orwellian overly sensitized surveillance state? Not vouching for any of that, but come on, this is absurd. And I think even the hardcore Trump supporters would agree with me, is that, look, there's got to be something that they can do with the security thing. I mean, we have so much money that they've even allocated for the president's protection. There's literally so many avenues they could take and a policy they could institute to make sure that they have the protection that they need, particularly the president. I mean, you would think the person in charge would be making that a top priority. And again, and whoever is running these events, if whoever is signing off on this, that they need to be singled out and fired, or they need to be really questioned in a moral character. Whoever is really in the president's hands that is advising this and is making these decisions on the security, they should be in serious question. Because we're unfortunately in a really dangerous time where you can't be someone with a very loud mouth and outspoken opinion without expecting major consequences. I mean, I'm a big free speech guy. I absolutely love the First Amendment and the Second Amendment more than any of our constitutional amendments, because this is what makes us American. And unfortunately, we're starting to see, because we're such a free and liberated nation, that when it comes to our First Amendment rights, like no other country has, we don't face yes, we can face consequences of censorship, but more so than not, because we don't have the censorship like other countries have, you're going to face those consequences in real life. You're going to face that on the streets, like you've seen, like Sneeko got punched the other day, like people getting attacked, like, for instance, assassination attempts, Charlie Kirk. So again, that speaks to the environment of this country and how high the temperature is as a nation. It's not in a good spot. It's an absolutely horrific and divisive space. And is that because of Trump? Is that because of just the radical left being themselves? I mean, I think it's multifaceted. It's probably a little bit of everything. And how we fix this country, it's obviously making it a Christian one. It's obviously getting Christian leaders and people who preferably are Catholic, who believe in Jesus Christ as their savior, to take control of this country. To be the ones, for instance, that are actually in charge of our security. People that are morally equipped for these types of situations. And until we have a really institutionalized system where we have smart, America First Christian leaders, we're not going to get any of these things done, and we're going to look like a laughingstock to the rest of the world, like we already do. So that's my take on all this. I think it's very possible this was staged. Can't make a confirmed take on this or a guess, because again, we're just speculating here. We're going off of the official narrative. We're pulling the pieces apart, dissecting this, and you guys can make your own decision. Tell me what you think in the comments. Do you think this is staged? Do you think this is organic? And it just really shows how deranged a certain faction of the country is. It's hard to tell. I'm open to anything, because I think we've been lied to so much as Americans, and we're going to continue to be lied to, especially with something like this. So that's my take on this. Make sure to follow us on all platforms. This is the Kacee Allen Show, episode 115. We are primarily on YouTube 3 to 4 days a week. You can subscribe to our channel down below and follow us on all their platforms at Kacee Allen Show. Like I said, 3 to 4 days a week. We have our shorts, clips, everything on all of our platforms. And if you want to subscribe, make sure to subscribe to my X account, X at KCR Allen, for $1 a month. We have exclusive videos, commentary, and just for simple support, because we're speaking the truth out here, and it does come with a consequence, like I said. And yes, we have the First Amendment, but that does not protect you from Section 230 that gives social media companies, including this one, the ability to regulate free speech. So like I said, this is my take on the alleged or supposed third assassination attempt on President Trump. Hopefully we can turn down the rhetoric at some point and the temperature in our country, and this doesn't happen again. But unfortunately, the pattern that we're seeing, it's very likely this could be the case. So until next time, we're going to be back tomorrow probably to be talking about the Iran war, or possibly Thomas Massey's election, because that's coming up here soon with the midterms, and that's one of the most important ones. That's my congressman. So stay tuned with our show tomorrow. So we're going to figure out the topic. We also have the Mary Fagan Keene interview dropping after this, so make sure to tune in for the double episode After this, we're going to have 2 episodes tonight, and that'll be that. So, like I said, appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, and make sure to subscribe, follow us on all platforms and channel. See you guys tomorrow.